Welcome back, guys. This is Danberg SC, and today we're going to talk about a ZvP build that I have been using with great success on the KR ladder and NA ladder and EU ladder as well. This is me versus a Protoss on Ice and Chrome, and our opponent is Jang J Hero. Okay, so this is the build basically. So I'm just going to put it on ×2. We'll talk about it a little bit. I might slow down a little bit later. I'll put the build order in the description below. I'm just going to talk you through what I'm doing right now. So obviously first Overlord always goes out to see if they're expanding or not. Second Overlord is always going to go and check to see if there's any shenanigans out by your third. You're going to take a 16 hatch in order to prevent this first probe. If he goes off the pylon, you can still get a hatch before 16. Then we're going to get 18 gas, 17 pool. It's always good to, when you're playing against a Protoss, to expand your, take your gas and your pool away from the ramp, because if he's going to cannon rush you over here, this gas over here is kind of vulnerable to die early, and you just kind of lose those minerals, where usually you can get a spine or something over here, and your pool's safe too. If you put your pool over here or here, usually you can get cannons in range of it, and it's a big issue. So I keep these two buildings as far away from my ramp as possible, or wherever the juicy cannon rush spot is, be that here, be that here. The Overlord, just make sure there's nothing going on in the natural, no big issues, and as soon as your layer is done, you're going to start 2 queens and 4 lings. You're going to take your third base at, 30 supply, because usually the probe will come out to the third base and try to block it with a pylon or something like that. These lings escort the drone over. You kill the probe, you take the third when you want to take the third. Then, as soon as your queens pop during that time, you're going to do creep tumor first, start another queen immediately, and you're going to just inject this pylon here. At 34 supply, you're going to rally back into gas, because you want to have this gas, you want to hit 100 gas at about the 3-minute, 30-second mark is what you want to do. I did mention this, as soon as you get zergling speed, you want to pull 2 workers off of gas immediately. So that's the chat. So on the other side of the map, if you see he's gone Adept or Zealot or something like that, first what you want to do is you want to scout with your Overlord. I've already gotten all the information I need from him. I know he's doing a robo opener. Oh, a little bit of freezing on a replay. It's a little bit strange. Why is this freezing? Is my game crashing? Alright, no, it's fine. Anyway, I see he's going robo opener. I just want to make sure there's nothing else going on up in his main base. He's got other things. So we're doing an Overlord scout, no big problem. Also, right now we are going to start our lair as soon as we hit that 100 gas, as I was talking about. And I get some spores at 3 minutes 45 seconds, and we're going to have 3 queens. So as soon as your second queen pops, we're going to make another third queen, and we're going to start droning. We're going to stop at 41 workers. Also, the third Overlord you have, you're going to rally it out to a drop spot, because we're going to do, this build is based on 2 forms of harassment. There's a Ling drop into mutas into a maxed out Roach Ravager army. Now, before you do the drop, you want to understand what is he doing. So I know that he's got a robo opener. I know that he's got nothing else in his main, so I'm not too worried about it. All I want to know now is where is he expanding out to. So I've made a total of, how many lings do I have? I have a total of 10 zerglings. 2 of them are at the natural, or the 4th base spots, and I'm going to send the other 8 up into this Overlord here. And as soon as you basically get 41 workers, you're going to take a Roach Warren and 2 gas, and you're going to make 10 safety roaches to make sure that you don't die to a push or anything like that. So he's sending a couple things, but we're going to basically stop at 41 workers just for a minute. So while we're stopping this droning, we're going to do a drop in his main, and then we are going to, with our next 100 gas, we are going to drop a Spire. With our next 100 gas, we are going to drop a Spire. So this build's timing is based 100% on its gas consumption. So you pull off of gas as soon as you get speed. You put back onto gas at 36 supply. At your first 100 gas, you're going to get a lair. At your, as soon as your lair is finished, we're going to make 1 Dropper Lord. We're going to make 1 Overseer. And we're going to make 10 roaches. And then as soon as we're done with those roaches, the next time we have 100 gas, we're going to drop a Spire. I guess I can put on a little bit of music if that's what we're all looking for. So the Spire's a little bit late, whatever. And then our next 100 gas, we're going to go into Roach speed. So this is basically the timing of the build. This is about 20 seconds late. About 20 seconds late. So right now, at about 5 minutes 30 seconds, what do we have? We've got 10 roaches. Well, I made 13 roaches. A little bit of a misclick. That's why we had a little bit extra gas. I've got 1 Dropper Lord going into his base. I've got an Overseer over here in case he's going DTs. I've got 44 workers. I'm starting the drone back up now. And we've got 5 queens. So 1 in the main. We've got 3 at the natural to kind of defend if there's any adepts or something like that. We don't keep a spore here because we have so many queens, we don't need the spore. Keep creep spreading as much as you can, and now as soon as we drop the Spire, we're going to try to take map control with this Ling drop. We're going to scare him to make sure that he can't leave the map. Also, if you see he's expanding, which I did with my zergling, this is great news. This build that I'm doing is not very good against 2-base. If you're going 2-base, what you do is you don't drop the Spire, you just keep making roaches and lings and turn them into Ravager Ling or Bane Ling or whatever you need to do based on what you're scouting from your first Overlords, and defend that all in, if it's Adepts or Zealots or Archons or whatever it is, Fast Storm maybe, whatever. Because I see he's taking a 3rd base, I feel comfortable that I'm going to now drone up to 66 as soon as I can while my Spire is building. So my goal now is let's get a little bit of map control by doing this Ling drop. We're going to send this in, and I already know basically what he's doing. He's got a 3rd base. He's starting to make workers. We did actually super well. We killed 11 workers with that drop. And now behind this, all we're doing is making an ass load of workers. So we're droning up to 66 as fast as we can. As soon as we're at 66, we're going to make a couple Overlords to get some of our supply open. And then right about that time, our Spire should be finishing. As our Spire finishes, we're going to make only 8 mutas. 8, and that's it. So 7... and 8. Now, if you do this properly, if you do this perfect, then right as the Lair pops, right as the Spire pops, you should have just about 800 gas banked up with about 800 minerals banked up. So my money I was banking up a little bit so I could drop them into mutas right away. So there's my 8 mutas. I'm about to get Roach speed to be defensive. And now after this, what we're going to do is he just finished cleaning up our Ling drop. He's down to, what is his worker count right now? He's down to 45 workers. He doesn't feel safe leaving the map. He has a nice army. He's probably got more army supply than I do right now. Oh, no, not at the moment. I made a bunch of mutas. But until now, he's probably had more army than me, but he doesn't feel safe coming across the map. I also know what's going on. He doesn't have a 4th. I've got Overlords spotting around what's going on. I've got an Overseer going through his base to make sure that nothing crazy is happening. So I've been scouting this whole time, too. I'm just talking about the build order. Now, mutas are going to go into his main, start attacking this, and basically what you're going to do is avoid the army. While you're doing this, what you're going to do is you're going to get 2 Evo Chambers and a Baneling. So you get the Evo Chambers earlier, but as soon, your next gas, what you want to do is drop them into upgrades. You've got 10 Roaches, you're going to turn these 10 Roaches into 10 Ravagers eventually, but you want to get +1/+1 Baneling speed as soon as you can while you're killing his stuff with mutas. So I win the game here with just the muta harass. I've killed way too many of his workers. He has no answer for 8 mutas coming in. So if, let's say if, he comes up into the main base with his army right now, all I'll do is I'll go and attack his 3rd. If he's going to the 3rd, all I'll do is go to his natural. And I'm going to keep on shifting my mutas around, avoiding his army, killing workers to keep map control. During this time, I'm taking a 4th base, I'm getting my upgrades, and I'm going to build a Roach Ravager Bane army. And as soon, I'm going to try to max out by about 8:30. 8 minutes, 30 seconds to 9 minutes with this build. Because right at that time, at 9 minutes, he's just going to be like, okay, I have static defense to deal with the mutas. I've got some stuff. Full maxed out army of Roach Ravager is going to attack his 3rd base. Or his natural, depending on where it's going on. The good thing about the mutas are, you're scouting his whole base the entire time. You know what his composition is, you know where his weak points are, you can see all of his important pylons, and usually a lot of times you can start attacking into his base, pull his whole army, then the mutas can come in and take some of these very important pylons out that are charging, that are, you know, taking all of his gates. Honestly, if I killed this one and this one, all of his gates are screwed. And then he can't remake stuff, and I have a maxed out army. So there's a lot going on. This is a very kind of APM intensive build. I don't spam that much, but there's just a lot going on with the muta micro, making a bunch of lings and banes at home, expanding out, moving your creep forward. My creep spread's really bad. If I was better at creep, I think my speed would go up even more, but I'm not that fast of a player. So this is my build order. I've had a lot of very good success on it. Again, I'm going to put the build order in the explanation below, but that's the basic concept. You have 2 forms of harassment: Ling drop into mutas. While you have map control, you're going to basically take max out Ravager Ling army, and you're going to attack into his 3rd. Behind that, if you get that far with this build, you're going to want to remax into Brood Lords if you can. So obviously stay on Ling Bane Ravager for as long as you need to stay alive, but don't go into things like Hydras or stuff like that. You've got the Spire, you've got mutas out, you're forcing him to go into anti-air, which is either Blink Stalker or Corruptor. Blink Stalker or Phoenix. And if you're going into Phoenix, all you do is start making Corruptors out of your Spire. and Ling Corruptor hard counters anything that he's going with Phoenix. This build works against if he's going Phoenixes or something in the beginning of his as an opener, but instead of mutas, usually I'll make 8 Corruptors instead, and then I'll just do a big attack with my Corruptors as soon as I can with like Roach Ravager Bane, because he spent so much on those Phoenix and they're not able to do anything to my side of the map. So he's kind of got this empty investment and he can't pick up any of my Ravagers because I've got Corruptors with them. It's actually a very fun build, but it is a little bit, you have to play a little bit quick. I didn't do perfect on this. My upgrades were a little bit late. 7:30, I should be about a minute into each one of these upgrades as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.